Okay, welcome to SNC Podcast, episode 42. Yeah, there's too many of them. We have Dwayne Robinson Jr. with us. He's going to talk about his comics and whatever we're going to talk about. So, who are you and, what do you really do?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dwayne Robinson Jr. I am the CEO of Animation, Comics, and Entertainment LLC. Currently we have two series out available, which the first one is Salvation, which is written by my brother and partner. I did the artwork. My other friend did the color for. Um, and then we also have a Nightfall series, Nightfall, Michael's Awakening, which is the story that I wrote and did the artwork for also. We actually have three other titles that we're going to be coming out with before the year is out, hopefully. A lot of things kind of got pushed back because of the whole coronavirus, unfortunately, but we're trying to get as much possible and, try to recuperate from all the losses that we have made.
Yeah, I saw the art on that. That was awesome.
Yeah, the Salvation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through a few kind of ideas about how we wanted the background to be and how we wanted the eyes to be, because the eyes is actually a part of, it's not actually in the story. It's a character, but he's not really talked about too much. So we wanted to kind of keep it far in the background as possible. Main focus is the characters that you see there. The two demons on the left, and then Vaughn himself, and then Solomon, who is the shaman, who he's been actually searching for, because the curse mark that he has is actually, he feels that it's a burden because he can't fit in with the humans because he has demon blood. And then the demons want to kill him because of his power. So he has no middle ground. So since he was born, he always felt that, if he can find a way to get it removed, he would finally have some peace and salvation. And finally, he heard about this shaman. And so in issue 0, that's kind of what we're talking about, is that he's finally got the information on where he lives, and there's a journey that he goes through in issue 0. And in issue 1, it continues right off from that, and goes straight into him finding Celeste and actually running into Solomon. And along the way, he actually runs into more characters that will be appearing throughout the series as well. But this series, the Salvation series, is a really, really long series. It's about 4 volumes. So we're going to be working on Salvation for a very long time. Nightfall, on the other hand, is a little shorter. But I feel that, we want to try to branch out to do different things, because a lot of our stories are more horror based. So we wanted to kind of do something a little crazy. So we have 2 stories that we're kind of working on as we speak. One is called Brook City, which is basically it's me and my brother and my partner Terrence Young, but it's us, but our characters are like bumped up to 1,000. The personality, it's just the best way I could describe is, if you take Family Guy and you take the Boondocks and then you mix them together and you have a love child, that's pretty much what Brook City would be. It's just over the top craziness and fun. And then we have another story that we call Project Gunsword. And that story is basically like a futuristic take on the world. But it's kind of imagine how the world is now, but if it's just become really, really dumbed down. And a lot of people say, that people that I've talked to and, told about the story in depth, at least, they compare it to, like, if Idiocracy had like a cyberpunk type story. That's kind of what that story is. It's very, very funny. It's very, it's lighthearted, but it also has a lot of things in there that could possibly happen within the world, if we're not, being a little more attentive to the things that's going on. But like we're just trying to just branch out and do different stories. Like I said, the Immortal story is another one, which is actually written by me. But that story is not really horror based, or it's a comedy. It's just, I would say, it's like a futuristic noir story. And I wanted to always, dive into the idea of immortal, or being, immortal or having immortality. You know what I'm saying? What will be the bad side to that? There's so many good things. Yeah, I can't die. I can't get shot or anything like that. That's all cool. But what's the bad things? So some of the bad things is that, what if you say, for instance, you see all of your friends that you grew up with and people that you love throughout the years, that you have to watch them die. You have to watch them age. That's a very hard thing to like kind of get used to and grow up with, and so that's what that story is really based upon. I mean, he does get his powers through an alien invasion, and he ends up saving the world because of his powers. But he sees a lot of people that he trained with, people that he loved, all die and pass away in some form or fashion. So what would actually happen to a man? Because say for instance he has PTSD. Usually people that have PTSD, they either some way or some form can recover from it, or they always have it back in their mind, dormant somewhere. Something might spark an interest, and you might feel a certain type of way. So, these things he has to always deal with. They never go away. And it's always going to continue. And that's pretty much what, the immortal story is about. And, I'm really excited about getting that story out there to everybody, because I feel like it's something different. You never really see anything like that, especially just the whole look of it. We're trying to really kind of incorporate some of our favorite movies that we have watched over the years that have like a futuristic kind of look to it, and bend it to our own little world. But what we like to do in some of our stories is we like to put little Easter eggs. So in the beginning of Immortal, he's actually sitting down and he's in this car, and because this is the future, even in the beginning of the story, it's already 21, 22. So it's already a little further down the line from where we are. We'll be old and dead and decaying by then. But so while he's in the car, he's actually looking at a TV show, and one of the TV shows that his favorite TV show that he likes to look at is called Brook City.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Also in the Nightfall series, in the first issue, Michael Vash, who is the main character, he has a girlfriend that he decides to take out on a date, and the movie that they go see is Salvation. There's the good thing that's really cool about the Nightfall story is that there's tons of Easter eggs in the first issue. In the second issue, I kind of wanted to just really focus on the world and the story, and really kind of answer a lot of questions that you are given within the first one, because there is a ton. There's a ton. The way how I could describe the Nightfall story, it's like bits and pieces of things. So there'll be something that happens in issue 3 where you have to go back to issue 1 and be like, oh yeah, that's right, he was there, that was right there, I can't believe it. So that's kind of what I wanted that story to be, where it's not just a straightforward story where sometimes if you're all caught up on the story, then you'll be right there. But for those who are trying to catch up, you can always go back and then go forward and still be right there with the story. Keep it fun and interesting.
That's awesome. Yeah, like we are all about Easter eggs. We have so many. Since we're remastering the first issue of our comic, while editing the script, Dylan actually put in like a different. He just added like one character in like this scene that didn't exist before, and now it like just makes it even more cool. Because no one's gonna know who that is except us,
Right.
Until like way later, and they're like, "What? It's that guy."
Yeah. See, the thing I like about it is that people's reaction is always is really good, because that makes you feel that they're actually paying attention to the story. They're not just like buying it just to support you, which is good too. But it's also to have that good input on what we're putting out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's always good too.
Yeah, I want like engagement. So like once
Yes.
people like there's this one thing I can't like really there's this thing that keeps popping up in like each issue. It'll be somewhere. Like it could be on like a business card or whatever. And like if you don't pay attention to that, then you're not gonna notice that, obviously. But you'll see it in almost every issue. And then like it'll become the main thing at some point. and you're gonna be like, wait, that's the thing that was on that business card in the alleyway. That's
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, we do that too with the whole ACE logo or name. For instance, in issue 1 of Nightfall, um, the one of the guys that scores the winning touchdown, his nickname is Ace.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then just actually, because I like this, some are personal Easter eggs, and then some are out for the world to see and whatnot. Like the name Michael Vash is an homage to one of my favorite animes, Trigun, Vash the Stampede, because when he's the team that he plays for are called the Stampede. So in the beginning of the issue, he's talking, the announcer is saying, oh, and can Vash and the Stampede actually take this game? They're down by 3. What's gonna happen next? Like small things like that. I used to when I was very young, I'm old and gray now. I don't look it, but I am. I used to be a quarterback, and that's the position that Michael is in the comic. He is a college quarterback. So the number 3 is an homage to my brother because his birthday is in March.
Oh,
And then when he hikes the ball, he calls 310 310. 310 is my brother's birthday.
that's the day before my brother's birthday. That's insane. Yeah. Well, not really Easter eggs. It's more just like characters. A lot of my characters are based off people that I know. So I just like switch their names around or whatever. So I make their middle name their first name. It's like one of my best friends, like Dylan wants, like my business partner wants. He said like last weekend, can we cancel all the other comics and just do that comic instead? I was like, no. Because his character's just awesome because he's like the Green Arrow of our like universe, but like he has a very like depressing story. Well, I have a lot of like depressing kind of stuff in it, but it's on purpose, and we have like certain guidelines in our universe too. Like if once you die, you die. And that's it. Like that. They seem like a lot of indie people do that because they like that idea over like
letting them come back
like
for some strange reason
or anything. And there's no multiverse type of thing, so we don't have a multiverse, so there's not going to be like a Miles or like another
Morales
so there's one of each person, so they're that unique. And but I have like comics scheduled for years because the Seer Chronicles is a graphic novel trilogy, and I'm doing it in issues, like comic book issues. So that's like the first one is like now like around 40 pages. It might be like 45 pages because we're still finishing editing the script. And then issue 2 is 29 or 30. Well, we're adding a little thing in there, which is another Easter egg. So you're like one of the first to know. So there's this like in the beginning of from issue 2 and on, we are going to have like the newspaper of whatever the newspaper company is in our city. It's called the Daily Journal, and that is there's going to be like newspaper like articles in the beginning of each issue of the comic. So from issue 2 and on, it's going to like catch you up on like everything before.
Okay, so it's like a recap.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't wait till we start really talking about our superhero universe too, because that was we actually have a whole universe that we actually are gonna do, but I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do superhero stories, I kind of wanted to do something a little different outside the box, hopefully stand out a little bit more, but if it doesn't, I just, because it's funny how sometimes you put together a story and you're like, okay, especially when you have a new company, you just want to get something out there for everybody can see and start to build your reputation and whatnot. And that's kind of what Nightfall really was. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write this story and I'm gonna get my name out there. How everybody will start knowing who we are from that. But I really want to work on the superhero story. I'm not really this is cool, but the superhero universe is what we're gonna be doing. but as you know, I just started to really pick it apart, and it just became a whole world, you know. And so, you know, but eventually we're gonna get to it though. But I can't. I'm sworn to secrecy. I want to talk about it every time when I start. I kind of want to dive in, but then I know I can't because I'm sworn to secrecy. But it's gonna be cool though. Like I said, with all of our stories, you know, I always try to incorporate Easter eggs, and with that one, it's not an Easter egg per se. It's more like a timeline. So, you know, the beginning of the superhero character, main character, may start in the present day, but then in the next issue with a new character, it will start 2 years or 3 years before that. And then so there's gonna be something that happens where it connects all of them, and then that's gonna happen in the future. So the main character will be a little older, but his story arc will already be completed. So it's sort of like that kind of thing. But yeah, I can't go into too much more, unfortunately. I'm just have it, and every time when I wake up, I look at it and go, one day I'm gonna post it, and then everybody's like, oh, that's cool. But
Yeah.
till then, stays in the back of my mind.
Yeah, this our Seer Chronicles thing is like a massive trilogy. So I mapped out the first story of like the three stories and arcs, whatever. And the first one has. I'm trying to do like 12 issues for the first one, and then that'll be its own like graphic novel or trade, whatever. And then the second story will be it's a little shorter, and then the third story like is right now shorter, like as short as the second one, but it wraps everything up kind of. And then yeah, there's like so much more after that.
Yeah.
but yeah, I can't wait to start doing like action scenes in our comics because we're actually gonna act them out and
Oh
like
yeah.
on video, yeah, and be like, hey, and then send them to the artist and be like, yeah, try to do that.
Yeah, I mean, cause that's kind of where I get my ideas when I'm doing my artwork for it. I kind of, you know, visualize, you know, a scene that I might have seen from a movie, but then, you know, try to tweak it to make it a little different. But yeah, I think that's always a good. I mean, that's what Stan Lee used to do.
Yeah,
You know, when he first started out, he would, you know, like just like this, and you know, so hey, you know, whatever helps you know, the artist get, you know, a
yeah,
better idea of what you're trying to get out there you know, it's better.
yeah. Like the ending of the first story, something happens. Something happens about like me and Dylan like actually acted it out. We didn't like record or anything, but he was like, "Oh, what if we do this?" And like he was literally like acting as like this one character doing something to me, and I was just like, "Okay." And I'm like on the ground, and I'm like, oh, I can't really say anything, but it's so long from now, but I can't wait for that because I could talk about Easter eggs like for hours if I wanted.
Yeah.
Because like our video game that's coming out is like one big Easter egg. So it's like, so awesome.
That's good. I didn't know you guys were coming out with a video game. That
Yeah,
sounds really dope.
the video game is the background story of our comics, basically. So like you just follow regular like not superheroes or anything. It's gonna start going down that way at some point, but in the beginning you start as a firefighter, a police officer, and a
Right on
criminal.
cue.
That's insane.
That sounded like that was a sound effect from you.
Soundboard.
There you go.
um, and we still have to write the story for that, but the video game is actually the Kickstarter for that is coming out in October, so we kind of have to like edit the script for that soon. And basically, we just have to give the names for the characters and then fix what I have written because we have to make it all match up because we're kind of doing it like Grand Theft Auto 5, how like all those stories somehow meshed into one. Yeah, I can't wait to do that.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
I would love to do that, but my main thing is I want to try to get into animation. Animation has always kind of been what we originally was going to start out with, but then we realized how much money it would be, and we were like, no, let's go back to comics. We're gonna go do that. We're gonna do that first.
Yeah, we want to
But
actually do like animated and live action shows and movies, but it takes money and time. So
yeah,
yeah,
you could always do a Kickstarter for that too.
yeah,
That
yeah.
always
There's
would
I
help.
think
Yeah.
one that I backed. I don't even know what I backed. I think I backed one recently, and it's like for an animated show, or it's for the comic. I don't know, but I know that they're doing animation too. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking a lot into like the motion comics. I was really starting to get curious about that. It's similar to animation, but not there,
Yeah.
So I was looking more into that to see like what I could do with that, because that's kind of interesting too. It's a
Yeah,
good
I know a
start.
couple people that actually came to me and like, oh, like we could do that for your next Kickstarter. I was like, okay.
There you go.
So, and then there's one or two people that are on our like comic platform that we're relaunching, and they're gonna put motion comics like on that. So I can't wait for that either, um, because I think they're making motion comics out of the short comics that they're putting out. Yeah, New Leaf Comic or Studios. If you ever even saw them post anything, that's who's gonna be doing that. Hector Barrero and Nate. I don't know his last name. I forgot his last name, but yeah, them.
Not too sure.
Yeah, they don't post
Uh,
that much.
oh, okay, yeah, that was just what I was about to ask you. I was like, I think I remember Hector,
Yeah,
someone posting something on the group page, a while ago though. That was like
yeah.
in March, I think.
He's really 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 busy because his job is he works for another company that's in New Zealand. He's
Mm.
like a comic artist, and he's basically like becoming the project manager, or he is the project manager for the comic section of their company. So yeah, he's doing like all that while doing New Leaf at the same time. So he's busy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And he does our other podcast with us. So
Yeah, I definitely want to try to get a Kickstarter going soon though, so we can get printing for all of our comics that we have. Because we were going to do it earlier in the year, but because of what's going on, we decided to hold back on it and just continue on writing and finishing issue 1 for Salvation. So there's always positives within all the chaos,
yeah,
so that was one of the things that we were, and also we were proud to have the website that we made, that took a lot of time for me to do. Oh my god.
I actually like how
But
it like fades to like the like words
oh, when
come
they're
onto the
yeah,
screen.
when they're
Yeah,
like
that's
kind of
cool.
yeah, that was that took a lot of work. Every time when I look at it, it's like, and the crazy thing is that we had to change our logo recently, so I had to take off the animated logo that was done for me by a guy in Concrete Studios, I
Yeah,
believe their
yeah,
name
yeah,
is called.
yeah. Concrete Comics or Studios.
Yeah.
Starts with a
Um,
K or whatever.
no,
Oh
not
no,
them.
oh no, them.
Concept Moon Studios. There we go. Yeah,
I might know
they
them.
they yeah they're pretty popular. They make they have a lot of comics. They have a website themselves also. And one of their animators was gracious enough to do an animated logo for me. But unfortunately, I had to get rid of it. So I was mad about that. So now I have to see if I can get in contact with them, either do another one or maybe find someone else. Because I always like to, help others that's, doing it too, not just the same people. Therefore, someone else can get some shine somewhere,
Yeah,
somewhere. But yeah, the website took a lot of work, but I'm glad it's finally done, and I'm glad about the merchandise. The merchandise I'm very happy about too, because it's a good way for those who aren't really fans of comics to still be able to support the company in some way.
yeah,
I just buying a t-shirt or hoodie or whatnot.
yeah.
Got so many other things coming with the merchandise too.
Dylan does the whole website stuff. He's been slow at doing that because he's doing his other business, and he does his brother's business, which he's a like music producer. He's trying to become. So, like, I'm kind of last priority, and I was like, yeah, okay, but the website is gonna relaunch, and then we're gonna like have the video game on there once hopefully the Kickstarter funds. And it's actually probably the cheapest for indie video game, like on Kickstarter, because usually they like charge like they try to have a goal of like hundreds of thousands of dollars or some crazy amount. Yeah. Not like that much, but like $10,000 or something. And ours is like 4,000 or something. So I'm hoping to get that.
What type of game is it gonna be?
3D like open world type of. It's just like Grand Theft Auto meets The Sims, but you won't. In the beginning, you won't be able to have like your own apartment. You'll just like spawn near your job or whatever. So if you're the firefighter, then you spawn near the firehouse or in the firehouse. If you're the cop, you're in the police station, or if you're the other character, you'll be where you gotta be. Then there's like other unlockables because the game is going to be like continuous. So as long as the comics are running, that's how long the game will be running. So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so when people back it, they'll be like, oh, this is only like, right now we have like 9 missions. Yeah, which for indie game is actually a lot, because I played an indie game and it was like, it's called The First Tree, and it was like 4 missions, and it was kind of long for being 4 missions. So like having 9 missions of story, and then there's like a whole free roam aspect after, because we have a whole like other thing that we're doing in the video game, like anyone that's on our platform, their covers for their comics are going to be like posters that you can get for your apartment or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah. There's indie music that'll only be indie music on the radio, which that's the easiest like way to get. It's like the easiest people to reach out to, like on Instagram or anything, is indie musicians. Like, oh, you want like your music in a video game? Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's like rap, rock, any kind of rock, jazz, pop. Like, yeah, I got a lot. I'm trying to get indie film because we have a movie theater, and we're actually going to try to put indie like movies to be playable in the movie theater. So your character can actually sit down in the movie theater and like look at the screen. It'll open another browser tab, but whatever. And then you get to watch a movie for free. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember. I don't know if you ever played the game called The Darkness. No. It's with a guy, he controls demons on this. No. Well, the game, inside the game, there was a scene where you could watch a whole entire movie. You can watch the one who flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Really?
It's supposed to be a cutscene. It's supposed to be a cutscene, but if you decide to continue to sit down and don't get up, you can watch the whole movie. I thought that was so cool. I've never seen that in like an actual game where you would sit down and watch the whole movie. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, that was The Darkness. Yeah, I think it's owned by Image. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, it's a pretty fun game. Like the first one I liked a lot. The second one was okay, but yeah, The Darkness was a good game.
That's cool though. Like what system was it on? Like PlayStation?
Yeah, it was on. It was all platforms. Yeah.
Oh. Look at that.
Yeah, it's good. You probably will recognize it maybe if you saw the cover. If you saw the cover, like, oh yeah, I've probably seen that.
Because I think I'm like remembering the commercial, but I don't know if it's that. So I don't.
Yeah, actually no, not Image. Valiant. I think it was made by Valiant.
Jeez.
I think that's who it was made. Who made it?
I did not see that Bloodshot movie, but
yeah, it wasn't bad. I wouldn't say it was great. It wasn't bad. Yeah. I think the thing about it though is that they shouldn't have cast Vin Diesel as the main character.
Wasn't he
Yeah,
like?
Ray.
Wasn't it based off of him though? Like,
No. The
oh,
character is his own character. He actually has hair. He looks more like an Italian guy. I think because but the thing about the character is that the story is pretty much accurate to the comic, where he doesn't really know who he is, and he does have like, but the thing that's different in the movie is that the chess part is actually not the same from the comic, because in the comic it actually is blood that comes out of him. But yeah, I just his whole look. If you ever like Google Bloodshot, you'll see him, and you're like, that looks nothing like Vin Diesel. So that was my only gripe, because I felt like if they would have just got someone new, maybe an unknown actor or whatever,
yeah,
to do the role, it might have gotten a little further, because you can get more into the character. Because every time when Vin Diesel talks, we're like, no, that's Vin Diesel in cosplay. That's not, it's not Ray. I know what Ray looks like. That's not him. So I think that's what kind of killed it for me. But overall, I don't think it was bad though. I
oh
thought it
yeah,
had decent
Groot.
action.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. If I was to have my comics as movies, I think I would want to be the director, just because I don't want them to mess it up.
Yeah. See, the thing about it though, is Vin Diesel. I think he co-produced it, so that's probably one of the reasons. But also too, to his credit, he is kind of a big fan of comics too. So
Yeah, he's like a geek. He does like Dungeons and
yeah,
Dragons and stuff.
yeah. He's a nerd. He's one of
Yeah.
us. But you know, they could have. I guess it brings star power too. For those who
Yeah.
don't know anything about the character, it's like, oh, Vin Diesel's a movie. I love Vin Diesel. I'm gonna go see it. There you go. So you gotta cater to the outsiders.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to the Mulan movie though.
Yeah.
I think
You
I'm
gotta pay
like the only one.
$30 to watch it, but you get it forever. So I guess
Yeah, it's not gonna be on the Disney Plus.
it'll be on Disney Plus, but you pay for the movie.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like $30 though, which I don't know if I want to pay $30 to see that movie.
yeah, like no.
There's no music and there's no Mushu. Well, that's what they
Yeah,
said.
I from what a friend of mine told me, it has to do with China. They don't.
But it's actually based off of like the actual story of Mulan, I guess.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons too.
I would still watch it, but I don't know if I want to be the one that pays the $30.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay $30 for it. It's not that good. Like it's not that good. But I'll give it a shot though. Whenever it goes down or it becomes free or something.
Yeah.
So then you can stay over there.
I usually, if I rent a movie or buy a movie, I'm not usually disappointed. But I did see the Harley Quinn movie, Birds of
Oh
Prey.
Lord.
That I kind of, it wasn't even that much money, but I kind of wish I have my money back from that. I didn't know what they were trying to do in that movie. Like,
Yeah, it just yeah.
and I'm totally like, I like almost any movie, like superhero comic book movie. Like, I wouldn't complain, but like I was just like, there's something that was like missing from that.
Did you like Suicide Squad? Did
I didn't mind it. I didn't.
really?
Yeah. People were like,
I couldn't
it
do
was
that. I
terrible.
couldn't do that one either.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I like her as Harley Quinn, but like besides that, like, and her like annoying accent that she has, but that's what she has. So
yeah.
put it. But
The thing is, because she's the first one to do it,
yeah,
it's not really anyone else to be like, well, she actually did a better job doing it. But so she's the only one. When someone else does it, I want to see what she can bring to the table. I don't know why they didn't cast what's that female Canadian voice actress. She plays so many characters. She plays Raven in the Teen Titans.
Tara Strong.
Yeah, Tara Strong. There you go.
She could have.
Because she has played
Yeah.
done the voice,
And
and she's dressed up in cosplay, and she looks just like. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, let's get this
Yeah.
going. Like, what's going on? But you know, I don't.
She's the voice in the Arkham games.
Yeah, yeah.
Just have her do it. And she was technically in one of the Arrow episodes as Harley Quinn, but she's like,
Right, that's right. She was, yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah,
forgot what she
yeah.
said, but like it was exactly Harley Quinn. I was like,
Hmm.
couldn't show her for like 5 seconds. Come on.
At least let her have a cameo,
Yeah.
like one of the patients
Because
in the
CW has a
movie or something.
stupid rule of like, oh, we can't show one of those characters because of the movies or what? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's all DC. Yeah, it does make sense.
That's why they like killed Deathstroke off in Arrow. Well, no spoilers if someone did see that. But I think they killed him off. Yeah. So it's like, oh. And then they were gonna put him in the movie, and then he was in it for like 5 seconds, and then I don't know if he's gonna be in any new ones.
Mm.
I saw like a teaser picture somewhere of like Batman's like here, and then it's like Deathstroke on the other side. I was like, is that real? Like, let that be
That
a
was
thing.
good. Yeah, I like that. I heard that they're actually making another Batman game though. Rocksteady
Yeah,
is making
yeah.
another one. They're
I
doing
didn't
a Court of
watch the.
Owls.
Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer or anything, but I know.
I didn't even know there was a trailer. I
Yeah,
just
I think there was a
read it on
trailer, like a
IGN.
teaser or something. Yeah.
I got to see
So,
if I can find that.
and
But
then
yeah, I heard that they was actually working on Superman. I was like, man, that'd be nice because Superman gets such a bad rap,
not a
have a
fan of.
good game.
He's the reason why I don't
You know?
have. He's the reason I don't have like flying character. I don't think I have flying characters. Nope,
Mm.
I don't have one flying character in my comic. Any of them. Nobody flies because I don't believe in capes.
Ah,
Yeah, like the
yeah,
Incredibles. No capes.
yeah.
There's. I can't see me putting a cape on anybody.
Yeah, I see that goes. All right, I'm just gonna say this about my superhero. None of my characters have capes either,
Yeah.
but there is a character that can fly though.
Yeah, like
But
you don't really need a cape to fly. It's just there
no,
to
I think
show
that's
that
just
you're
like
like,
that old classic
yeah.
superhero design. I gotta have a cape, but
And I don't have like a Superman type of character, so like now if like someone is listening to this whenever this comes out, um, I don't have any like super overpowered characters. Like I think Superman is allergic to a rock, but but yeah, I don't have anyone that's like that as of yet, and I don't think I will, just because like we have certain guidelines for all of our comics that I can't see me ever making a character like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's one of the characters is like Superman, but he is pretty overpowered though. It's pretty OP. But the thing about him is that he's his own worst enemy. It's sort of very similar to Sentry, where he has that dark side to him, and that's his real liability is himself. But that's a part of the lesson that the character learns, and the reader as well. So I don't want to go too far, but yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much why he's like that. But all the other characters, yeah, there's no capes, but there are a few that can fly,
No
teleport,
capes.
whatnot. No
Uh,
capes.
well,
I
my
just
my third story of the Seer Chronicles has the scene. It's a big scene. It's like epic battle that I feel like I had the idea before Marvel. Probably not. Like when all of those portals are like Infinity,
end game, yeah.
Endgame, and everybody's coming out of the portal. I don't have multiple portals, but I did this way before the movie came out. I never saw the comic. I never read it, so like I don't know if it's literally from it or whatever. But I have a bunch of indie characters, like superheroes or whatever, coming out of a portal. So like one portal, and so that like brings an opportunity to anybody that's interested if they have superheroes, like any universe or any character that can fight, and they want to join in that little battle that we have. They can actually have their character in there. So, but that's like down the line because that's
That'd be nice. Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool. It's a good
So
way
hopefully your
to
superhero
help
universe
promote
is
it.
like started by then.
I don't know. No promises. We still we have so many other stories. There's
Yeah.
another story that I'm working on. Speaking of like things that where they kind of took your idea. There's two things for me. There was this video game called Infamous,
Yep. I never
PlayStation.
played it. I always
Yeah,
wanted to. I just
the
never.
character, the way like his outfit and the things like that, his powers too. It was similar to a superhero character I was developing, and I was just like, "Oh man, are you serious?" So I had to redesign just about everything: his look, his personality, his outfit, everything. I was so had to redesign that. But then there was the Elder Scrolls. I think it was Elder Scrolls Online. They had a trailer, and in the trailer, they had each character, because you know how Elder Scrolls has different species and whatnot. But the characters, one character had a hood and he had a mask and he looked like he controlled like some type of elemental powers. And I have a story called Trinity where that's similar to the story. And I was just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? My brother, he's always telling me we need to get these stories out. Somebody takes it again, because it always happens to me. I'm coming up with an idea. Sometimes I'm just talking to him and we're just pitching ideas about new stories. And like, hey man, well, this would be nice. And then like a week later, I turn on the TV and it's like looking at me, and I'm like, all right, well, just gonna erase this back to the drawing board.
It's just like
But
not really any original idea left, but like there is at the same time because
yeah, you
yeah.
just gotta dig, 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 dig.
I really don't think anybody has the character that my main character is in Seer Chronicles. I don't know any superhero or anything that's a firefighter in their past life. So can't think of one unless if
Not off the back of my head, no, I
no.
can't think any. Yeah.
So pretty sure I got a new one there. Um, yeah. So well, probably wrap this up because the other guest, Chuck, is 10 minutes away. So
Oh.
yeah. So thanks for doing this, and we'll definitely have you on again. And
All right, no problem.
yeah,
Thank you for the opportunity.
thank you.